In Memphis, Tennessee, an African-American businessman has spent thousands of dollars of his own money to urge young men to pull their pants up. 79-year-old Fred Davis has invested $6,000 to sponsor a billboard that reads, quote, "Show your mind, not your behind." Mr. Davis joins us via Skype to talk to us about why he put this billboard up from Memphis. Thank you so much for taking some time with us, Mr. Davis. Good to see you.
It is my privilege.
Okay, so the first obvious question is, why did you do it? Why did you take out this billboard ad?
Well, I took it out because I had heard people in the community, people in little polite groups, in social groups, and saying, "Lord, isn't it a shame the fellows are wearing their pants down below their buttocks," and et cetera, et cetera. And from time to time, I would hear ministers speak of the situation from the pulpit. But everybody was singing to the choir. Mm-hmm. And the objectives are the people who they considered the offenders never heard what they had to say. And I decided personally that somebody ought to speak in the mic. So I was addressing this primarily to the people in my neighborhood. And over a few months, I toyed with various ways I could phrase it until after I came to a point that I arrived at the words that you see on the billboard.
That's so funny, because my very next question was going to be, where did you come up with this slogan, "Show your mind, not your behind"? That certainly is very catchy. Tell me, what has been the reaction to the billboard?
The reaction to the billboard has been very, very positive from all over the country. My daughter has a friend who lives in Hawaii. And she said there it was a lead story on the evening news. I have had inquiries from at least 22 states. I have had calls from policemen who are saying, "Amen." I've had calls from school teachers wanting to know if I had made billboards so they can put them outside their classroom. I've had people who want to sponsor the billboards in their town. I had a call from a man in St. Louis and say, how do I get a billboard? Get those billboards here. I've had calls from other parts of Memphis.
Excuse me, Mr. Davis, let me just jump right in, because I don't want to run out of time. And I can only imagine that you didn't intend nor imagine you were going to get this widespread attention. But what about the young men in your community? When they've seen that billboard, have you seen any of them pull up their pants?
It's a funny thing, because I put the billboard close to my office so that if anybody had a problem with it, they wouldn't have a problem finding me. But it's a funny thing. I've seen young men walk past the office, and we have big bay windows in our office, and look up at their billboard and pull up their pants.
So you hit your target. Now, we said in the introduction, you spent quite a bit of money, $6,000. I understand that gets you 3 months for that billboard. How long do you intend to leave it up?
I don't know, but because I had the head of a car dealership at a community meeting not too long ago, and he asked me how long should it be up, and I told him. He said, "Well, when your time run out, let me know, because we're going to sponsor 2 more months." So
this has got to really surpass your wildest imagination with your original intention.
I had no idea. I was just speaking to my hood.
I'm sorry, say again, sir?
I was just speaking to my neighborhood. When I said I was speaking to my hood, I was just trying to address it to the people around me. I live in what at one point was the largest black-owned neighborhood in the United States, second to Harlem. It's called Orange Mound. It was a very, very, very middle-class neighborhood for many years. Now it's deteriorated a lot, and new generation has moved in and don't have the values that the olders had. And I just wanted to give them a shout out.
Very, very briefly, Mr. Davis, in your mind, what is wrong with young men's pants sagging down like that?
Well, especially African-American young men. I tell them sometimes, especially if they're going for employment or something of that sort, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And people will judge you.
They sure will. I'm going to have to jump in there. We're completely out of time, but congratulations on your accomplishment there in your community and nationwide. Mr. Fred Davis, thank you.
How can I see this?
All right, we'll make sure you find that out. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back here tomorrow on Arise America.